this is the part of the airport that you usually see when you come to the airport. This is where you check in your bags, and well, Pilot Dave's going to help out a little. Here, let me get this bag here, and we'll put it on the conveyor. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my tie is stuck in the bag. Thanks, guys. I'm really embarrassed. I don't quite know how that happened, but thank you very much. This is where the baggage goes, huh? Yeah. Wow. We're behind the scenes now at the airport. Usually they don't let people back here, but because I'm pretending to be a pilot today, they've let me come back. And you'll find all kinds of little trailers and tractors back here. Each one's a little different, and each one has a specific job. What they do is they service the airplane while it's on the ground. Now this machine looks really cool. This is called an airplane tug. It's actually used to hook to the front wheel of the airplane to move it around the airport when the engines aren't working. Hey, here comes a big airplane now. I better let the real tug drivers take over. At a busy airport like this one, there are lots of airplanes on the ground and in the air all the time. You may be wondering how they keep from running into each other. Well, they do that by talking on the radio to the people up in that tower. That's the control tower.
Hi, I'm here at Parker. Have a nice flight. Hello, my name is Blaine, and I work in the control tower, and my job is an air traffic controller. And basically the position that I work here, I talk to the airplanes that land and that take off. What they do is they call me on the radio, and they ask for clearance for takeoff, much in the same way that you'd probably ask your parents permission to go to a friend's house. My name's 8538 Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land, wind 240 at 6. Basically, I use the radio, which I'm connected to right here, and the bright radar so I can determine them, and this is Ontario Airport where we're working right now. These dots that go around here are basic airspace that I'm responsible for. These rings here are 5-mile range marks to give me an idea on how far people and airplanes are. This is an airplane on a 4-mile final landing runway 26 left, which is the closer of the two runways. And this is an airplane 10 miles northwest of the field coming inbound.
This is Pilot Dave calling the tower from UPS Flight 747 requesting permission to land. Over.
Dave, we see you, and you're cleared to land on runway 27 left.
Runway 27 left, that's a roger. 27 left, which one is that? I guess that one. We'll go for that. We just landed at the United Parcel Service hub in Ontario, California. These big planes don't carry people. They carry packages. Every day, millions of people have United Parcel Service fly packages across the country and around the world. Wow. Now, we've seen little airplanes and even bigger passenger planes. And now we're going to see a really big airplane. I mean, a really big airplane. In fact, this is one of the biggest airplanes in the whole world. Oh, by the way, you probably figured out that I can really land that airplane. These guys are the real pilots, and they give me a special assignment. Well, the pilots have given me a special job because I was such a great pilot, such a big help to them. They're going to let me chock the wheel. That's what this is. Just put it down there. That keeps the wheel from rolling when the plane is parked on the ground. give you an idea just how big this airplane really is, if you were to stand it on end, it would be about as tall as an 8-story building, and it weighs almost as much too. When it's fully loaded, it weighs something like 700,000 pounds. So how do you get that much weight in the air? Well, with one of these great big engines. As a matter of fact, they have 4 of these huge engines, and the way they work is they suck the air in the front, then they squeeze it together, ignite it with the fuel, and then that forces the pressure out the back with more power than a huge tornado, and that drives this great big airplane through the air.
And just like your car at home, these big engines need their oil changed from time to time. There's lots of activity here. The planes have to be serviced on a regular basis. They check everything from the big wheels and the landing gear to the very tip top of the tail. And of course, the packages have to be loaded and unloaded as quickly as possible. These big machines are specially built to help lower the containers gently from the airplane. Each container is full of packages. One of them might be headed for your house. The ground crew has to work quickly to unload the packages because more and more airplanes full of more and more packages are arriving all the time. This container is clear. You can actually see the packages inside.
If you thought the outside of this cargo plane was big, just look at the inside. It's huge. Look at all those instruments. I'm not even going to try to guess what all of them do. But I do want you to meet our pilot today. This is Captain Jim from UPS, and we're on the flight deck of a 747 airliner, a great big huge airplane used for hauling cargo for UPS. Captain Jim, tell us a little bit about what all these things do.
Dave, this is the steering wheel for the airplane. This lets you climb and descend and turn left and right.
So that's like a steering wheel in a car.
Yes, sir. Here we've got the throttles. In your car, you've got a rudder pedal, you've got a pedal on the floor for your throttle, and here we have throttles right here.
So this would make
4
it
engines.
go forward,
Yes, sir.
and these would shut those big engines down, right?
All these instruments up here in front of you, Dave, they're to tell you what the attitude of the airplane, whether you're climbing, whether you're descending, whether you're turning left or turning right. And you've got an airspeed indicator. It's just like a speedometer in your car. You see the numbers are a lot bigger than in your car, though, don't you? Here, this speedometer goes up to 400 miles an hour.
Wow.
It's a lot faster than your car.
How fast does this plane fly when it's actually...
This airplane can fly up around 500 miles an hour.
And how high?
Oh, and how high? Up around 40,000 feet.
That's how many miles high?
Oh, at 5,000 feet per mile, that's about 8 miles.
8 miles high. Wow.
Dave, you notice my feet are on the rudder pedals. You've got a set over on your side. And the rudder pedals are used when we're on the ground. The top of the rudder pedals are the brakes. And you just tap these lightly, very gently, and that'll stop this big airplane. When we're in the air, then, we use these rudder pedals to help us fly and to help in our turns.
Captain Jim, there's a lot of kids watching this that may want to be pilots when they grow up. What would you tell them?
I'd tell them it's the most fun you can have. Being a pilot is the best job I've ever had.